Hi. All right. Looks like we're live, and we we are here. Wow. November 2022. I mean 2021. I'm thinking about 2022 so much right now. And let me take a look at what you're seeing here. There we go. That's probably much better. Okay, good. Akasha here, and this is a channeling of the November energies. So we did one in the beginning of the month, and it was the first time I did this kind of a thing because I like to see what the energetic weather is, whatever we're doing. Just putting on my obsidian heart here. And what happens is the energies shift and flow through full moons and new moons and eclipses, which we've just had full moon eclipse, powerful. I'm still watching the moon. Of course, it's not quite as full, but I could see it all night, and it was still there when I got up when the sun was rising here and the full moon was over here, or almost full moon. And solstices, equinoxes, Mercury retrograde, seasons, and everything that is energy, and everything that's happening seasonally or with these celestial events, or what's happening like with eruptions of volcanoes within the earth, are happening within us. So we're having a societal breakdown, we're having a structure of breakdown of how we do things, how we work, how we learn, how we think. We're starting to break down our values that used to happen, where we put everyone else first, and we went to a job and we lived their rules. We went to their place, their schedule, and more freedom is coming into our life now because of the taste that we've had of freedom, of choice, of more joy, more color, more richness in life, instead of life having to be sacrificed to make money, to go to a job, to be a slave to a system or a lifestyle that we were told we had to have. So if you have kids, my kids are 24. Excuse me, they're twins, and you can see the difference in their entire perspective on life. And it's profound because we've seen generation after generation where the older generations try to impose their opinions, their perspectives, their values on the younger generations. And in some senses, the parent is supposed to teach the child about how to navigate, life. However, it's been too much of criticism, ridicule, shame, blame, guilt. You're never enough. I'm not enough. Too controlling, not controlling, ignored, or too controlling. And this is what I see in my sessions and with my students, is we all have these lower, deep, heavy energies. They're low on the scale. So make sure you have the scale of consciousness, the scale of vibrational consciousness, and you use it. Because when you realize that the reason that you made certain choices, or the reason that you feel a certain way, or the reason something triggers you, and you go on to a reactionary pattern, and you go into a habit. So I've had clients recently who've been getting triggered. We've had deeper things come up. A lot of what I'm seeing right now is old patterns, deep patterns, ones where you're saying, I thought I dealt with this, or I spent so many years dealing with this. I can't believe it's still there. But they're the deepest, the most emotional, they're most full of those low energies. So the lowest frequency on the scale is shame. What does that mean? That's the lowest state that you can exist in without being dead, with being in an animated body. And shame carries humiliation and misery and elimination. You get rid of things in your life, or you don't care, so things fall apart. And then maybe there's some guilt, which really, if you don't feel guilt, most people have some form of guilt that they were given or they piled onto themselves. There's the idea of blame, because blame is the emotional state of guilt. So these emotions, for the last 4 months, we have seen an intensification of these low, deep energies coming up. We saw last year some of the most in the last, I'd say in the last, whatever, 5 years or something, we've seen a lot of embarrassing behavior, people not on their best behavior, people not being gracious, kind, loving, and accepting, people being judgmental, people being angry, people being really controlled by their emotions, not at all within any sense of consciousness of how they're acting and the repercussions. And we're seeing the polarity. People are becoming more angry or more free. Well, personally, I like to be on the more free side. I want to be going up the scale, not getting stuck down the scale. I want to free myself from the secrets and the shame and the abuse and whatever is carried in the sacral, because it blocks the root. It keeps prosperity, feeling safe, feeling soothed, feeling belonging, in getting to enjoy pleasures and earthy things. We need to prepare ourselves. If we really want to create a new world, we don't want to create it from the old pattern. And so everything that has been leading us step by step from saying, you need to get ready because where you're going, 2022 is going to be about unity. And we have been at the 9th wave of consciousness, which is unity consciousness, which is the representation of the 9-step pyramid in Maya land. Is the top level. And that's been built for a little while now. That's been available to us for a little while now. But the transition, getting everybody onto that wave of consciousness, up to the top of that pyramid, is a little difficult because we have people still, all of us, have been attached at different levels of depths, anger, addiction, desire, craving, disappointment, feeling enslaved, feeling stuck, feeling trapped, feeling not worthy, not good enough, feeling like you're never enough, feeling like you hate when people control you, feel like when you want people to control you. So, there's all of this is within us. And this is being dug up the deepest levels. So if you have found that the deepest fears are coming up, or old patterns, or things that you thought you had, processed, don't get upset with it. Okay, please, the most important thing you can do is not get upset about where you are. Okay, you then heap more of the lower states onto yourself, and you make it more difficult to raise up out of it. So here's what we have these inner patterns, and they say, don't believe that you're good enough. Don't trust yourself. Don't enjoy yourself, right? You're not good enough. You're never going to be good enough. I'm picking ones from an actual session today. These are common for most people, so in some form. And those patterns are parts of you. You gave a job to them. And bazillion years ago, whenever, who knows, there's many, many lives, we would call them, many parts to a soul. You're one of them. And you are living now in the evolutionary, evolution is accelerated, and it's going in a direction it never has before. So since creating from infinite to duality, right, to having the duality of the above and below, or masculine and feminine, or whatever polarity you want to talk about, yin yang, that's what you need to create form, to create things. And consciousness, mind, the world is created from mind. It is not the intellectual mind. It is the open mind that is willing to expand and see things it couldn't see before, perceive things it couldn't perceive before, receive more, be able to be more clear about what it wants. So as you raise your vibration or your consciousness, you free yourself from these old patterns. And these old deep patterns are what the last couple of months we've had Mercury retrograde, and we just had this eclipse, and we had, I think in June, we had 1 or 2 eclipses, and we have had seen on the political scene bizarre things happen, right? And and the pandemic, keeps moving through its different phases. It's just like that sacred serpent, the solar path back to your truth and your power is like this. It's up and down. You got to shed the old. So we are being asked to shed the old patterns completely. And if you're here, hi. Hi guys, hi Sandra, hi Sitara, and Pamela. Okay, Ocean Goddess, so someone tell me if you can see me or hear me. Okay, Chris says I look good. All right. He usually watches, and he didn't the other day, so I did 45 minutes. But we did another one, and it was great. So what you want to do now is say, oh, okay, these things are coming up for a reason. I'm not going to blame myself. I'm not going to judge myself. Oh, that again, or I can't believe it's not over. I thought I was further along, or obviously I'm doing it wrong, or feeling anger, any of that. It's blame. Blame is guilt, and it's low, and it's very far from acceptance. And acceptance isn't letting other people do things to you and choose. It's you saying, okay, this is where I am. Now, what do I want to do? I want to let go of all that past, so I have all my energy now, and I can start to sync up and harmonize with this new potential. You want to be where you are. I sometimes think of life as a bit like being in the jungle, and you've got to be on your toes. You've got to be like watching, you be aware. If you're walking in water, you got to make sure you know what's in there. That idea, not that it's dangerous, but that we're changing all the time. Things aren't going back to the way they were. So if there's a part of you that's still holding on, and we're really talking sacral energy. What does that mean? Your sacred center, your hip bone, your sacred tail, your womb, your 8 original cells, some of your bladder, some of your sexual organs, this area, your Dan Chen, your belly button, it merges into your solar plexus, which is your power center. What does that mean? It's like a sun. It glows and it emanates depending on how much you allow it to glow. And if you're carrying patterns like most people that are being poked to the surface right now, everybody is releasing. The earth is releasing. The medieval times and the burning at the stakes and the beheadings and the torture and all this stuff has been coming up to be released from everything, because it's in the stones and the rocks. They were here when this happened. It's in the waters. It was here when this happened. So all of that, that's what's being poked up. So take a look and give yourself, I don't want to blame myself. I want to be happy. I want to get excited. When something comes up for you to look at and it's right in your face, that's what you need to look at. The moment is right. Your higher self and all the parts of you that are loving and know your path, and they know your powers, and they know that what you're ready for, they're putting it in front of your face for a reason. So you've become an expert at suppressing it and pushing it down and locking it away and putting it in a dungeon and dealing with it and doing it anyway. And I know I was making progress over the decades that I've been on my path, consciously seeking what's going on, how do I create my reality, how do I stop the pain, how do I manifest on purpose, all these different questions that we have as we become aware that that's actually something that we're in charge of, instead of what we were told is be what everybody else wants you to be safe and to belong. Now we're breaking free of that, and it feels weird, but it means we have to go to the deepest core within us and find the contracts that are complete. They're outdated. They've outgrown their usefulness, right? There was a purpose when you sent that part of you out and said, do not let anybody near me who thinks I'm great because I'm not worthy, and bad things will happen if I think I'm worthy, and I can't trust myself. There's all these things. When you put that part of you in charge of that, there was an agreement or a decision made in a past life, in another life. And that life had a certain trauma, and the reaction to what happened hardened into a decision like, oh, well, don't be in love because you'll be betrayed, or don't speak up because you might be killed or hurt. or ridiculed or outcast, whatever it is. So those are core patterns, and because we all have them in some form and everyone's story is different, and the earth has them, and the trees and everything that has this energy has been recycled, it's coming up. It's almost like pus coming up out of an infection. It's bringing up the white part of the pus is the white blood cells. It's your defense system. It's taking the toxins and escorting them out of your body. So right now, before the end of the year, you want to prepare for the next year, for this unity. And you don't know what unity consciousness is going to be like, how it's going to show up in your life, how you're going to feel, who you're going to be with, what you're going to do, what the world is going to change into next. We don't have any idea how it's going to unfold. That's not important. If you are being you in the moment, then you're going to be listening. You're going to be going, oh, it's time to shed this. It's time to shed that. So we had the full moon eclipse Friday, and on December 4th, we have the new moon eclipse. And this is a passageway. It's a very magical portal, and it opens energy that makes it easier for you to transform. It opens energy that makes it easier for you to make these shifts of the deep, dark stuff. We're going from dark with the full moon energy, which is starting to wane. So the full moon energy is the illumination, and it's the inner sacred feminine illumination, trusting your intuition, following that path, listening to your inner voice and your inner authority more. Very important, because we still have, what, 4 weeks or something until the solstice. And that means we're going to keep getting shorter days and more dark for 5 more weeks. That means we're going towards a double dark eclipse, new moon, which means that when you come out of this passageway that we're in right now, you're going to enter a new reality for you, for everybody. Everybody's reality is different. And then we have the communal one that we create from those different realities. That's why when you change your perspective, when you heal, take your shame and you accept it and you turn it into something that you love and accept, and it becomes fuel for you to be a compassionate person instead of an angry person or a person who doesn't feels like you were a victim. You send that energy into the whole. So you're going then past that eclipse on the December 4th into there's a few other things along the way, and then there's 12/12, 21, which is going to be a fun energy, and then you're going to go into the solstice, which is 12/21/21, another awesome energy thing there. So you look for the pattern, and when patterns show you that 2, 2, 2, 2s and 1, 1, 1s and 2 1s and 2 1s, this is a pattern. It's very conscious. It's very intention. So what we're doing now is we're completing the phase that we've been in of going deep. So do things with your sacral. Look and feel where you don't feel safe. Money, sex, love, self-worth, shame, guilt, blame, victimhood, torture, powerless. These are the kinds of energies that if they're coming up in any way, shape, or form for you, listen to them, accept them, write them down, talk to them, go into a meditation, talk to this part of you, put it in an acceptance chamber and say, I love you so much. Thank you for showing me that you're here. Tell me what's going on. You don't need to know what it is, and you might know what it is. It might unfold to show you another life. It might unfold to show you a memory from childhood. Right? It might unfold to show you something that seems mythical, but somehow you relate to what it's saying. It might just be a feeling in your body or a memory. Whatever starts to come through, be a clear and open communicator. You want to affirm every day, cleanse and clear your light body. This is just basic energy. You've got to get the patterns into place because we're going into more and more power. It's getting more and more intense. We have more and more power coming at us. The sun is flaring more and more. It's not bad for you. You have to raise your frequency so you can receive it. You can hear it. You can take the codes that are coming and become it. You can become a brighter light, and you can fill that solar plexus. The solar plexus is between the heart and the sacral. And it's meant to warm, to bring in you, your personal missions and purpose with sun and growth energy and this fiery, beautiful energy. And it's supposed to then warm the heart and warm the womb, warm the sacral. And instead, the heart's been walled up, wounded and hurt, and the sacral's even worse. The sessions are locked boxes and vaults around it, brick walls in it, goo, completely encompassed in goo or glue, with barely a passageway that you can't even get through until you like dissolve the next layer of it. These are all the different ways that I see the sacral energy center in the Sacral Secrets soul healing sessions that I'm doing right now. And they're on sale in the shop. There's a big gratitude Black Friday sale right now. There's lots of great stuff, and there's some really cool new stuff. We're going to do past lives, doorways to freedom and prosperity. So in December, before we all go to play, we're going to do 3 journeys together. We're going to have 30 minutes or so where we dive into what are past lives, what do they mean, why does it matter, how can I work with them, everything you can think of that you want to. If you come to it, you can ask anything you want about the idea of it. And then we're going to have 3 journeys, and they're designed for you to take and repeat so that you can start to connect to find these past lives that are sitting with deep shame in your womb and preventing you from feeling, from receiving pleasure, from believing in yourself, from being creative, from receiving money, from all the things that happen in this sacral center. Now, all the centers work together, and I also have on sale a brand new package where we do a sacral center session, and we do a root center session, and we do a solar plexus chakra and a heart center. So there are 4 of them, and we do a soul reading. So we go from the soul reading, seeing everything about you, what's happening in this moment, what's coming forward, what wants to talk to you, what's stuck, what past life is trying to speak to you, what fear are you holding, what power is ready for you to embrace, where is there money, like whatever it is that's relevant for you comes out. And then we're going to go from the root up to the heart, week by week through those centers, and you'll have these powerful recordings for you personally. These are private sessions. And the past lives is a group, so you can come to that, you can watch the recordings, but these are all on sale. And then there's also a life purpose and past life session that you can do, or a package of sessions. And I also have my soul readings on a bundle because people tend to buy those a lot throughout the year. So you get a really big discount if you buy 3 of them. And there's other stuff in there. Take a look at it. I've got a couple of new meditations that are coming out. One is a shame cleanse with all this work with the sacral that I've been seeing. And this is why I see the patterns. And then the patterns, because I work with all these private clients, and then I work with my students, and I work with myself and my family, and I work with the land and all the different things that I do. I get to see what's happening in each moment from all these perspectives. So I know it's not just me, right? A lot of times if you just know what you're going through, you're like, well, it just must be me. It's not. That's why I can tell you that this is the pattern. And so I thought, well, it's time to create a shame cleanse, and that'll be out in a day or 2. And it's half price. It's like $11 or something like that. And it's going to be something you can put on and cleanse and clear and cleanse and clear. And you may not relate to it. Sometimes clients say, I don't really relate to shame. I don't think I carry shame. However, I know I feel this about that, and I feel this about this person, and this gets triggered. And I think that that's probably related to that. And it is, which is why you want to look at the scale. So you want to embrace these things, accept them, be happy, love them, embrace them, bring them back, because that's when your emotional body can let go. So today we connected in this sacral space 3 generations of women, and mother-daughter issues and all kinds of other things. And the solution wasn't trying to control, trying to make it happen, trying to push like we often do. The solution was, oh, we all have this pattern. We all have a different story. So one person had this person, and they thought this about that, and this person, and so on. And they were all held back by these different fears that came from the similar thread of story, but it came down to something that you wouldn't expect. So trying to change it and not knowing that it was the connecting of all 4 lives that was required, and acknowledging all 4 lives have lost their dreams. All 4 lives changed, and they felt trapped or out of control or unworthy or whatever. And they all had a different role they were playing for each other. And by all 4 of those lives, daughter, mothers, and so on, that they were reinforcing and holding that into place for all of them. And her healing will be something that affects all of these people. And they don't have to be alive, okay? Because this patterns come with us from life to life. Not all of them, but we gather together the similar ones. So these are the things that we're seeing released in the planet right now, coming up. Really getting some salt water, if you don't have a bathtub, like here in Mexico, nobody has a bathtub. I go in the ocean, thankfully. But I used to take salt crystals in my hand, and I'd stand in the shower and I'd just rub it. The salt is very purifying, very healing. Bringing in amethyst is a very powerful thing to do as well. And one thing is that we're reaching the part of the year that's kind of the crown of the year. It's the end of the year. And the amethyst is the crown chakra. It's purple, but it has many different vibrations. It's got that idea of royalty. Well, what does royalty mean? Not the twisted version of, force yourself, take everything, torture people, so you sit in your castle while everyone suffers. The idea is be the king or queen of your kingdom. Own your power. Choose to take back your power and your right to create your reality the way that you're meant to. And it's also a spiritual vibration because it vibrates into your soul star. It basically connects you to your higher self, and your soul star holds your Akashic records, everything you've been, all your other lives. So it's a very important thing to do. So in the past lives class, we're going to go in and have that idea of a kind of Akashic records connection, because some people really relate to that. And yet you don't have to think, I'm going into the Akashic records in order to experience your past lives. The ones that already are here hanging out, if your biggest fears that are coming up, they're right there, okay? They're right there. They're attached to them. They may be trying to speak to you already. So the other theme that's happening for us is be in the moment, so that you now, before you're in a different portal or before you're in next year and you realize you didn't let that go, you carried it with you, you weren't ready to release it, you weren't ready to sit with it, you just didn't want to deal with it, and now you were somewhere you're like, oh, I wish I did this before, it's really causing me a lot of problems. It's like going into space. If you don't prepare, you drag a bunch of baggage with you that you can't take into space. Something bad's going to happen. So you just don't want that energy anymore that isn't supporting in the moment what you really need to do. What you want in this moment to lead you to the next moment, to be the most prepared for the moment of your quantum leap. And eclipses are quantum leap points. So from Friday till December 4th, anytime in this space, you may experience a quantum leap. And even if you don't in the way that you expect, stop expecting it to be in a certain way. Ooh, I want it to be this way. $10 million right here tomorrow. Thank you. Well, there's nothing wrong to say, I would like this, but you want to detach from emotionally needing it, or you're back attached to those low frequencies. And you don't want to go through into a unity universe where you're attached to old frequencies, because who can you unify with? Yourself at a lower level and other people at a lower level. That's not who you are here to be. You're here to be you. There's no one to compare to. You are unique, 1,000% unique. So don't compare, and then get curious about, who am I? Okay, because the deepest dark is the point of complete acceptance, receptivity, and sacred feminine. So when we reach the solstice, we're going to be like this, and then it's where everything is pure potential. And from that is seeded and nurtured new. So between now and then, you're preparing, you're letting go of toxins, you're getting rid of old habits, you're receiving those parts of you that keep grumbling. I get ear infections. I have since a child, and in the last 2 years, I've had them almost nonstop. Now, it doesn't happen as much now, but I've been a natural healer and a homeopathic doctor for a very long time, and I've seen miraculous things happen, and I've seen natural cycles, again, patterns of how someone heals with homeopathy, flower essences, energy medicine, rife machines, oil essences, foods, herbs. These things, natural remedies, are so incredibly powerful because they work with the rhythm of life instead of interrupting it, chopping it up, turning it off, turning it on, things like that. So you want to be the best. You want to prepare yourself for when you go through to that moment that you're ready to let go of everything, because that's what that moment will be like. So you're preparing for that. This week is Gratitude Week. It's Thanksgiving in the US, but I think it just creates a certain vibration, one of the nice things that comes. So I always tune into it as gratitude. That's why I call my Black Friday sale a gratitude sale. And somebody said, "Oh, I didn't know your Black Friday sale was on." And I was like, "We sent out a thing that said gratitude sale." And they said, "Oh, I didn't really get it." It's not the same thing. Like, okay, it's a Black Friday sale. However, the idea of gratitude is, again, if you look at the scale, a very high frequency, very high state to be in. And when you're in a gratitude, there's appreciation, right? There's these other frequencies. In fact, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at the screen. And this is the class here, shop.nanakasha.com. And this is the one class I was telling you about. Oh, I turned it off. Okay, give me a second here. So the scale is going to show you that when you're at gratitude, or you even just try to, I guess that's not the one I wanted here. If you even just try to be in a state, I used to hate the idea when somebody said be thankful, because it meant, and it means to a lot of people, that you should be thankful for what you have. Just be grateful you got what you got. I'll give you something to be thankful for. There's something about you don't deserve anymore, be happy with what you have. There's something about giving up or not deserving what you had that used to come with that idea. Then it became a concept. Have a gratitude stone and do a gratitude thing. And I love it. I think it's all lovely. But there was also, again, still the attitude of like, you have to do this. And sometimes you don't feel grateful. Well, I don't want to be grateful for this, right? So, okay, hopefully now you're going to see the scale. So when you use gratitude like this week, you access, again, the energy weather of the moment. Tune in and grab the gratitude that there's more of it happening now. There's more people who are tuning into the idea of being grateful. More people think of reasons to say thank you to people rather than plodding through their life or feeling not good enough and therefore not noticing anyone else and not able to be grateful or kind to anybody else. One of the most important things about gratitude is being receptive. When your emotional body is receptive, what are you? You're in flow. That's your divine feminine. You receive, you enjoy, and then you can create and expand and give out, and you receive. So your emotional body being receptive or your emotional body being in blame. It's a big difference. It's almost completely the two ends of the scale there. And your mind has reverence. What is reverence? It's seeing the beauty in everything. It's seeing the things in life. So do that this week. Instead of just saying like, what am I grateful for? It's nice, and I think it's nice to think about every day, say something nice to at least one person. But if there's a small number of people that are close to you, say something about them to them that doesn't sound fake, okay? That you appreciate about them sincerely, and only say it if it can be sincere, because the energy underneath it is going to be a big deal. Now, please don't be attached to their response. then you're going to drag yourself right down the scale and probably be angry. They didn't even say thank you. They didn't even know what I said, right? Or being addicted to their response, craving, wanting their response, wanting them to say the same thing back to you or whatever. Do not do anything with an agenda. So this is a great week of being grateful for yourself and for these fears that might be coming up, being grateful for everything that's happening right now, because underlying it is a grand vision, a grand purpose, a grand architect that is moving us step by step out of the dark. And there was no way to get us to where we are open to now without taking us away from each other for a while, right? Locking us up in our homes for a while or stopping everything. I loved the peace on the planet. I loved how nature came back. I loved how the pollution started to clear up while we were all having to stay home in the beginning of the pandemic. Now, no, we need movement for life force. However, we were moving and plowing ahead with the old ways and the old patterns so forcefully. So this week, look at, if I don't expect anything back, what am I truly grateful for? And I bathe myself in gratitude. So we're going to do a gratitude bath here in a moment and have a beautiful experience that you can take with you into this awesome, awesome week. So I love this week for that reason. It overshadows anything else. And then remember, reverence is seeing the sacred, believing in the beauty of everything, appreciating things. That's the reality. You start to become living in an appreciative reality. That means people appreciate you, you appreciate yourself, you appreciate the beauty around you, you appreciate the challenges you've had, the strength that you've built from it. You appreciate what you don't know, you appreciate what you do know, and your perspective is flow. So gratitude is an amazing and divine state. Also, the thing with states is we're rarely just in one state. Sometimes if you're deep in a meditative state, you can travel to other places, and this is what we do in most of my classes, and you can experience incredibly expanded states way past enlightenment. This is just the basic scale. However, you are in your day-to-day life, you're almost always feeling a mixture of courage and optimism and a little bit of craving and disappointment and dragging around a little blame and and maybe some grief depending on what just happened. There's a little mixture, and then your reality reflects back to you and becomes the mixture of all those things. So the more often that you're at a higher state, the more often, the more you're powerfully and the more percentage of the time your life is being fed back, your reality is being fed back to you based on those higher states. So the gratitude state is 964. And when you say that number, there's just a meaning behind it that it means gratitude. It's a frequency. And so you say, 964, gratitude. And relaxing and feeling the receptivity of the emotional body, right? And then relaxing and looking for something with the mind that you can feel reverence for. That's like a deep, sacred respect, love, meaning, adoration. It's way past acceptance. You don't have to think, I'm just going to accept you as is. You have reverence just because that thought, being, whatever it is. All right, so that's where we're going. And all these lower states from shame, blame, and hopelessness, and disappointment, and anxiety, and everything down here is what we're cleansing out. So if any of these come up, take a look at them, thank them, be where you think and you understand that this is really a powerful experience for you to get the support of the energies of the moment. That means that your higher self and all of you're aligned with this moment being the time to cleanse it all out. So it may not be what you want to do, and yet that's what the weather's like, right? Don't go out in a thunderstorm and have a picnic or go golfing, right? So what we have here is my website, and here are some of the things that we have on sale. So a lot of my classes are $100 off. The Sacral Soul Secrets healing sessions I'm doing right now are $45 off. the Angels course, the Goddess course, the Pineal Awakening. Infinity Light Weaving is an incredibly powerful system of light healing and energy medicine, and you can use it for so much. And the Soul Star Awakening is all about your higher self. And then, like I said, I bundled the soul readings. The Shame Cleanse is coming out. This is the package where we do the root, sacral, solar plexus, and heart centers, as well as a soul reading in the Sacred Chakra Abundance package. And then the life purpose healing with past lives, or a series of journeys around them. In the new year, I'm going to do chakra upgrade. It's going to be amazing. So there's a super extra sale on right now. That will be on. There's the past lives. And this is another new meditation that's coming out in a couple of days. And it's half price. It's only $14. And it's communicate with your past lives. And it's a guided audio with music that I create where you can lay down and go communicate with your past lives. To me, it used to come up during every session I did, whether it was hypnosis or something else through the years. As I combined all of the different methods that I used, I saw it more and more, and I saw people saying, I don't believe in past lives, but I just experienced one, and it was so powerful. Until now, it is nonstop, and there's a communication, there's a co-creation happening with our other lives or past lives, and there's powers that are being shared once the healing happens. There's freedom for everyone to go in the direction. This is more empowering and is another thing that has never happened before on our planet. I also want to invite you on December 5th. We're having right here at our new home our beautiful friend Christian, who's our Aztec ceremony leader, and his Mayan girlfriend, and they're going to be here to do a sacred ceremony on our land. We're going to be doing that live streaming, so please join us. And they're going to share about the sacred herbs and flowers and the meaning of them and when they use them and what is a bundle of smudge or a healing bundle to make right now for this dark time of the year. So what we've been talking about is they tap into energies the way we would tap into angels. You can tap into herbs. You can tap into all kinds of nature spirits. They all have an essence and a consciousness, and they all hold strengths and powers the way you hold strengths and powers that you may or may not be aware of. So we're going to give you ingredients, and you're going to be able to make it if you would like with us. It's live streamed, and I'll be guiding an amazing healing activation to go with it. It's for the new moon eclipse. So I hope you'll join us. It's so wonderful to do that. And of course, please join me in March for our Unity Chakra Temple Retreat here live in the Mayan land. And we're going to be going to temples, and Christian and his group, our 4 or 5 of them are coming over to do a ceremony here with us. And our cacao goddess is coming to be with us. And we're going to go to 3 temples, and we're going to see a night show, and it's going to be amazing. It's stunning. We're going to have a Maya solar initiation and activate all the chakras to a new unity frequency. Finally, there is one of my sessions that is super powerful, and because so much sacral stuff is coming up, that's also where the money fears and beliefs and challenges live. Worthiness, ability to ask for money or a raise, or charging money, or losing money, or trusting your decisions with money, or feeling guilty with money. And everybody that I've known has really deep issues in that area. And as you heal, you may find the last of it is coming up, or stuff that you didn't know about was coming up right now. So this is a really great, very deep session. And we go into rewiring. We go through a process. We go through looking at the beliefs. It's it's 2 hours, I think. So any of those, anything else you have questions about for me, please let me know. And I would love to dive into our good morning, Genevieve and Thea and Patricia and Pamela. I said hi to already. And Patricia said, I feel the energies are so strong physically and emotionally, being challenged and trying to surrender to this process and sacral issues. Yes, it's so amazing because we have the belief that we should know how to deal with it, or we should be over, or this is coming up again, so that means something wrong instead of something good. So I love it because I just keep hearing it over and over and over. And I've had one thing after another coming up it's been almost 5 months we've been renovating our home, and we are complete. We do have the electrician coming back Wednesday to start up the pool, but we got to fill the pool, which is enormous. I designed it all from scratch, and was here every second. They were building everything, and it's been incredible and fantastic and intense and a dream come true. And it brought up all of my fears of worthiness and blowing it and money and this and that. And it just was wave after wave. And I knew what was happening. I knew why this was coming up, but it was giving the opportunity for me. Oops, I didn't go back. Now I'm just showing you. I understood why it was coming up, but I still had to go through it, right? I still had to see it. I still had to feel the pain and the grief and the fear, and then acknowledge it and process it and be with it. And sometimes it really wanted to sit around. And so that's why, Mercury retrograde, it's more just like being with the messages instead of trying to make things move forward. It's a time to listen deeper and listen more. Okay, good. Oh. So we are going to have a little bit of copal here. One thing I love about the Maya, I always loved Egypt. I didn't know anything about the Maya. Sadly, it turns out they're the oldest civilization and the most advanced, as much as or more than ancient Egypt, and both of them seated by Thoth. And these ancient wisdoms were just completely erased. So getting to live here, watching it rebirth, refine itself, become more present to the world. And the energies here to me are like home. Copal is a resin from a tree, and they make incense. There's also rocks that we burn in a big bowl called a copalero. And there's white and there's black. This black is very good for protection and for cleansing and for deep dark. So we always use this before we go into a cave, before we go into a cenote, an underwater place, into a temple. These places hold palpable power. So when you come here for the retreat, as I'm doing this to me, feel it for yourself. I'm doing it under the feet and up the back of the legs and the front. We do all the different energy work to prepare. We do the smudging and the cleansing and the ceremonies and the sacred work, and we know how to enter these places so that we don't have an overreaction to the energies, and that we are respectful and reverent for where we are. We can gain so much from these places. So we also want to give thanks to our moon goddess here, Ishel, since the full moon is still with us, and to all of our crystal friends and our Atlantean warrior S's, our Atlantean butterfly goddesses, and any energies that are optimal for you right now. Really tune in. So my intuition class is on sale, and I highly, highly recommend it. We did it for the first time this summer. We still had a group of them stay on to do practice twice a month. It is powerful. One lady said, this is the most thrilling and challenging class I've ever taken. And you don't have to do the practice and play. You can just get the intuition course. But this is a moment, in this moment, you need to listen to your own inner authority. You need to free yourself of the old patterns, the old agreements, the old obligations, energetic, emotional. Guilt is an agreement. It is a contract. Energetically, it's an attachment that keeps you stuck. So the energies happening now are bringing you down into that, and they're bringing a bright light onto it. And as the light diminishes, you want to be present and understand that it's my time to remember the truth of why I came here. I came here for this, for everything I've been through, so that this moment I could transform it and free myself to go into a space of beauty and unity beyond anything that I could have imagined yet. Okay, so thank you to that sacred copal. Let me put that out. All right. So Thoth wants to come over here. Thoth is ended up being, is Hermes, but it ended up being turned into the god of wisdom, writing, magic, science, alchemy, civilization. Merkaba, sacred geometries. It's a wise teacher, and was over here in Maya land represented as Kukulkan, a serpent that teaches you to shed your skin and reclaim your feathers, your spirit, to go through life like that, right? And so whatever energies that you tune into or you don't, I have a lady who's taken a lot of my classes, and she didn't tell me till a while in that the poster that I had of Ganesha, who's a Hindu goddess with an elephant head, she said that weird pointy-eared guy, she just didn't get it, and yet she was still there tuning into what we were doing. So don't let any of these or anything that comes to you trigger a judgment, right, of it, because whatever embodiment, it could be a flower, you relate to the flower, great. You relate to Thoth, you relate to these flower beads for Mayans are protection, okay? And then you might say, oh, I don't resonate with that. Okay, that's cool too, right? So you have all of these different things. Let them come to you. Let them speak to you. Actively increase your intuitive skills. Become more receptive. Visualize more. Be more active in your self-creation of your world. All right, let's have a gratitude bath. Woo, woo. All right, I think I'm going to... No, that's okay. All right, looks like everything's going well. Yes, we're still going. Okay, cool. Oh, we've had such an interesting time. Wait, it is? Yeah, okay. All right. So you can relax and close your eyes, or you can watch me and follow along. Some of the things I'm doing are light body energy work, or light body yoga, I call it sometimes. But a lot of what's happening right now is simply guided in the moment. So there's visuals coming to me as I'm moving the energy around. And we are inside of an infinity healing chamber. That means there's a cone of gold and silver light above and below. We're wrapped in the all-seeing eye. Oh, big purge. So let anything come up that needed to come up. Oh. And and we're inside of the spherical consciousness of the flower of life. This is energy that forms a flower made of circle upon circle upon circle, that within is every sacred geometrical shape, from a square to a triangle, tetrahedron, hexagon, and on. Spherical consciousness is what we're moving into. So relaxing and allowing yourself to drop into the moment and begin to weave energy out of your heart and back in again, and out of your heart and back in again. And say in this moment, I'm ready and willing and open and receptive to take the energies out of my heart that no longer serve me and give them back to the infinite field. And I'm ready to scoop up from the infinite field gratitude and pour it into my heart. And you can do this with your hand like I am, out from you. So if I was facing this side, out, you're doing an infinity weave. This is infinity light weave. And you grab, you scoop in. Oh, I'm ready to be done with the fear and the unworthiness and the shame and the blame and lack and the never enoughness, or whatever it is, you're just going to scoop it out and take it and feel like you're just gifting it into the infinite field. And then they're filling your hands with all this new pure energy that's just perfect for you, and you bring it back into your heart and receive it and breathe it in. And then weave, and now go from the throat through the heart and the solar plexus and the sacral and the root. Scoop and then pull it out and take all of it into the infinite field and release it. And bring back a big scoop of gratitude. Bring it back and you pour it into your heart and relax. Close your eyes and feel that you've now created this open weave of light into the infinite field. And it's pouring now consistently into the heart, gratitude. And that's pouring into your solar plexus, your belly. What haven't you been willing to digest? What have you been resisting, receiving, enjoying? Who are you? How bright is your light? How much have you hidden it? And you feel these energies pour into the sacral and highlight the dark, the dungeons, the patterns, the past, the pain, and the gratitude pours in here. And you say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to everyone and everything that has ever contributed to my patterns of low limit, lack, all the unworthiness and the shame and the guilt and the blame and the anger, all the craving and disappointment, all the revenge, all that depression, regret, betrayal, loss, failure. All of these energies hiding secretly. This gratitude bathes the sacral, softens the walls, melts the locks, and brings a gentle wave of light. I'm no longer holding on, resisting, constricting, in fear of my own power and creativity while craving it at the same time. I release it all. You feel this gratitude continuously pouring in from the infinite field. And it keeps washing through the heart and softening the walls, washing away the wounds. And it pours through that solar plexus, soothing and cleansing those dark areas. Cleaning the pan, ready to be reignited, washing, purifying, cleansing, clearing, releasing, higher, 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 higher. Gently you feel the beautiful gratitude energies pouring down into the root. And like a garden, the root, dry from lack of juiciness and pleasure and love and truth and flow and acceptance and worthiness, from the lack of creativity, from the lack of flow. dry, dry, dry. And you let this waterfall of gratitude fill the root. And first it backs up because the root is so dry. It is hard and it's clogged. It's cracked. Now, slowly, the water, the gratitude, this liquid love, this receptivity and reverence, appreciation, the flow soaks deep into the dry earth, into the barren and the lack, into the parts of the root that we're afraid to receive and open and anchor and drink and afraid to let go and afraid to trust. It's drinking and soaking it in more and more, and the cracks are disappearing and it's softening. And the gratitude pouring in overflows from the heart and down the arms. You feel this divine love bring receptivity, opening the arms, releasing the hands, receiving. Flow coming in, flow going out. Your left hand tingles and little roses appear in the fingertips and rose petals appear in the palm. And you feel as if you're receiving the most soft, delicious, healing, feminine love up your arm, through your hands and into your heart. That mixes with the heart, and your heart center begins to flow, filling up, moving up the neck into the throat, while pouring down and saturating the root. It's now abundant, flowing stronger. Your connection to the infinite field more open. You sense and feel more energies, colors, sensations, smells. Your sensations begin to awaken and heighten. It's like deliciousness exploding within you. And through your throat, you feel poof, pow, poof, pow, poof, pow. The throat swells, rejuvenating, refreshing itself, the communication portals opening. It swells and fills up into your eye and your inner eye and your crown, and begins to come out of your crown like a fountain. This gratitude energy flowing from an infinite source, filling you. Heart, arms, hands, throat, eyes, ears, senses, crown. It's going up higher and higher, reaching towards your soul star and pouring down over you. You feel it like a gentle rain across the face, blessed, kissed, renewed. Pouring down through the blood, the bone, the nerves, the spine, the chakras, the subtle bodies, the mind soaks in. And all of you now begin to shift into full receptivity. Your emotional body is overflowing with gratitude and becomes receptive. That receptivity begins to bring in more healing, delightful, ideas, energies, all that is required for your optimal flow right now. You feel your emotional body draining, releasing, and receiving, filling it with your most delicious colors, your most delicious laughter, your most delicious, yummy experiences, sensations, and tastes, all of joy, pleasure, bliss. It overflows and you feel a sense of intense reverence, sacredness fills your body. Your mind grows still, attuned to reverence. You see, sense, and feel absolute vision of sacred love and acceptance. Your mind expands and pulses, your forehead and your crown tingle and burn. New senses are awakening as they are bathed and overcome with this high frequency 964. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. 964, yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. You feel your legs, your feet, all the way out, layer and layer through your sacred centers, through your beliefs and your thoughts, out past your blueprint and your Akashic records into all of your lives and all of your soul. You share gratitude freely. You empower and enforce it. You grow it. The more you receive, the more you expand, the more you appreciate, the more you feel this sacred reverence is the truth of who you are. Relax. I'm ready and willing and open and receptive to receive this gratitude bath for as long as is optimal for me. I give permission for receptivity to intensify until it infuses my emotional field and I begin to flow one with the infinite field. Grateful for all that was, all that is, and all that I now can attune to. The sacred is within me. The blue heart of truth of the Maya, the ancients, the beloveds that have held space and compassion and reverence for us, from the herbs and the crystals, to the waters and the animals, all the kingdoms. I send this gratitude, appreciation. I allow myself and all others, from Gaia to the moon to the sun, to my soul and all my lives, to my ancestors, to my body, to my perceived failures and my cravings. I am grateful, deeply grateful for all that is, and all that was, and all that is ready to become. Feel yourself as this channel, bathed in gratitude, immersed in receptivity, able to receive and feel worthy, sacred, willing, aligned with being the true you. Thank you. The flow continues to pour down through the heart and the solar. And look into them now. How have they changed and shifted? How is this beautiful bath cleansed and purified, renewed and refreshed them? And the sacral and the root, tune in. What is there? What is shifted? What is being brought to the surface? What is new and growing? Scan your body down through the feet into the earth star and out through your mind and your emotions. Scan down through the hands and through the throat, all the way up through the crown. See and sense, perceive you, filled, bathed, rejuvenated with appreciation, reverence, and flow. I am one with the divine flow of my optimal stream. I accept. I understand. I love joy. I feel illumination and bliss. And all this wrapped in ease and grace as I receive and give and receive and expand and grow over and over and over. Relax and allow this gratitude bath to be real for you. Ask for your senses to open, awaken, and expand. Your 360 senses, your soul's talents and gifts. I free myself now of old contracts and vows, low energies and beliefs, thoughts and patterns that keep me from rising, receiving, enjoying, and creating with gratitude. Take time to feel all the parts of you flowing with this divine energy. Become the flow. See the flow. The reality is all about appreciation in every direction. You appreciating your body, appreciating your pain, appreciating other people, appreciating this moment, appreciating the moon. You being appreciated because your reality reflects you. Receive the gratitude and give yourself permission every day to receive it, to drink it in, to let it flow through every part of you and overflow out into your life, your body, your clothes, your room, your furniture, your car, into your job and your money, into your relationships and your thoughts, into the dirt and the earth, into the trees and the sky, into everyone on the planet, all the way down to the core of Gaia's heart. We are one. Our hearts beat as one. Our minds work as one. We are here to become unified with our truth, with the infinite and the eternal, with our powers of creation and our ability to enjoy, receive, appreciate, and give. Be the flow. Be blessed with every breath and every step. Leave gratitude. Use your eyes to send it. Use your touch to give it. Use your feet to leave footprints of gratitude everywhere you go. Each person and place you touch will become more soft and receptive, more seen and appreciated, more revered, more nourished. We enter this flow and give great thanks. Thank you, thank you, thank you to ourselves and to everything in this moment to lend to us to be here now. I walk through this to the next portal and the next. I walk through this deep passageway of the eclipse. I walk through this phase in my life. I walk through knowing I am supported, loved, and uplifted, and grateful for it, whether I can see it or not, because I am awakening. And I will see more tomorrow, and I will sense more today, and I will know more in this moment, and I will receive more and enjoy more, and it will grow and feed on itself. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are one. Namaste. In Lakech Alakin, I am another you, you are another me. We are one. And as we relax, take your time, because this is powerful stuff we do. We travel, we move energy, we open portals to other times and other parts of you. We weave and open and clear and cleanse and reconnect. And this stirring of energies needs time to settle and integrate, needs your respect and love to let it move, your gentleness and compassion to accept it. If you want to cry, cry. If you want to rejoice, rejoice. And think about a joyful, childlike time when you felt the freedom to be you, to be that butterfly, to be open and trusting and in the moment and talking to fairies. Be that. Bring us back to that pure potential, to that joyful presence in the moment, to that full acceptance of who we are. And be grateful you've been on the journey. That now as you return to this, you will really appreciate it, you will really understand the value of it, and you will protect it, you will choose it. Take care of yourself, love yourself so, so much. Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful Thanksgiving, have a beautiful week. I hope you'll go to the shop and enjoy the sale on the private sessions, on the past lives, on the sacral healing and the chakra healing, on the past lives class that we're going to do. Get some meditations. They're mostly half price and they're very low. And classes are 100 off, and you can get your intuition or you can get your energy medicine going. It's a really beautiful time to treat yourself, be grateful for who you are and what you have. And let me know how else I can serve you. I'll see you next time here. Namaste. Thank you, Pamela. Mahalo nui lau. Loa, Nan, for your gracious love and sharing. Thank you, and right back to you. And powerful time for healing it is. Blessings back to you. Namaste back to you. Kisses back to you. Sunflowers back to you. Lots of hearts back to you. Namaste. Whatever you receive, do it with gratitude and gift it back if it is something of beauty and love. Wow, spontaneous light language came through today. Ooh, good. Love you dearly. Thank you, sweetie. I give that back to you. And I take your waves of love, Genevieve, and say thank you. And I put it out into the world and down into the earth and into the sacred moment that I am here. So, so grateful I'm here and you're here too. Take care, everybody. Namaste. Bye-bye.